Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're back. I am here in the kitchen this morning on this beautiful Saturday morning making pickles. I have a mountain of cucumbers that I picked out of my garden and we need to do something with them. So I'm going to make some bread and butter pickles. And you really don't want to go into the whole process of following a recipe. You can buy these little packets of Mrs. Wage's pickle mix. Has everything you need except your vinegar and your water, and it has the directions on the back on just exactly how to make these pickles. You're just going to start off with a bowl, and the package says to discard the blossom end and the stem end. So let's just do that, and I'm just going to cut those off and put them aside, and I'm just going to slice them as thinly as I can. If you're not comfortable using a knife, use something that you are comfortable with to slice these, a mandolin or maybe some kind of slicer that you have. Okay, I'm going to get all of these sliced up and we'll be back to fill our jars. All right, we have the cucumbers all sliced up and we're going to fill the jars now. All right, let's start with a quart jar. And we're just going to fill them in as compact as you can. You don't want floating cucumbers or floating pickles and all that juice. You just want your jars really tightly packed, but you don't want to overfill them where they're coming out the top. I'm going to press them down and I can get a couple more in there. All right, let's go to the next jar. So I don't know what it is, and have you ever seen on TV where you see the ladies or people at spas with the cucumbers over their eyes? Well, there's something to that, and I really should research it, but the juice in a cucumber will firm your skin, because once I get finished with doing pickles and cutting up cucumbers, slicing the cucumbers, the skin on my hand is tightened. So I think there's something to it. Really, I should research that. I have my jars all filled, and now I'm going to get my lids in some water to boil, and I'm going to need 5 lids. So I'm going to go ahead and get those in that water. You want to activate the rubber seal that is around the lid. So that's why you're boiling these. Okay, we're going to drop them in the water over here and turn that on to get it started. Okay, on my stove I have my pan ready for my vinegar and my spice mix or my pickle mix. So we're going to need 8 3/4 cups of 5% vinegar, white vinegar, and 7 cups of sugar. I did not mention that before. 7 cups of sugar and one pouch of this Zesty pickle mix for the bread and butter pickles. Okay, we're just going to start. We're going to go ahead and open the pack of spice pickle mix. That smells so good. Pour that in your pan. And I went ahead and put an apron on because the turmeric in the spice mix stains. So I didn't want to stain my top. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the vinegar. We're going to need 8 3/4 cups of vinegar. Here's 4 cups of sugar. Need 3 more. Okay, let's stir the sugar until dissolved. Bring this to a boil. And let me mention that when you make pickles with vinegar, of course, you don't want to use aluminum pans. You want to use stainless or maybe enameled cookware and stainless or wooden utensils to stir with. This is a really close recipe to the Pickles that you buy in the grocery store. The hot, sweet pickles, so good. And this is a really close resemblance to those. I guess you would say they taste a lot alike. So I can't wait to get these finished. And what I'm going to do is put the lids on the jars and seal them and give them as gifts, or put them in the refrigerator. They could be water bath processed, but I'm not going to do that today. I've only got the 5 jars, so I can put what I'm not going to use right away or give away in my refrigerator. But if I had a bigger batch, I would water bath them and make sure that they are processed. But since we're going to be using them and giving them away, they can be put in the refrigerator. The pickle juice is boiling. We're going to come over here. We're going to let it boil, maybe turn the heat down just a little bit, and we're going to fill our jars while it's still boiling. We want that to stay nice and hot. I have a towel underneath my jars to catch any juice. Add just a little bit more. Wipe the rim. We'll wipe the whole jar after we get the lids and the rings on. Screw that on. And I still want my jar to seal, even though I'm not going to process these and I'm giving them away as gifts. I want it to seal. So I want it to turn over and let that hot liquid seal this jar. And I'm going to move it over to the side. Okay, I'm going to move a little faster with the rest of them. Be very careful with these jars. They are so hot. You want to leave them over for 10-15 minutes. So it's been quite a while since we've filled the jars. The lids have sealed. Turned them over about after 10-15 minutes. But remember, these have not been processed, so you want to refrigerate and give them as gifts. I want them to sit on the counter for about 24 hours and let them absorb all of the flavors. But get them in the refrigerator as soon as you can and give them as gifts, or eat them. It would be perfect for a picnic to share with your family or your friends. But that is Zesty Sweet Pickles with the Mrs. Wages pickle mix.